Alrighty, 6:35. Looking to call this meeting to order. Did everyone, or first off, do we have any adjustments to the agenda for today?
I just want to make sure in other to talk about term limits and Cultural Advocacy Day. So just sticking those in the other file.
Sure. Anyone else? No. All right. Did everybody get a chance to read the last meeting we had agenda or the meeting notes? Do we have any suggested changes for any of those meeting notes? No. That was on February 15th. Seems so long ago. All right. So hearing no changes, can I get a motion to approve the minutes as they are?
I motion that we approve the minutes.
All right. Can I get a second?
I second.
Okay. Thank you. And Shanda, I know we have to inquire about the citizen comment. Besides Jeff's dogs, do we have any?
Call for a vote. Or you move to approve.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We need to move to approve the minutes.
That's okay.
I'll say aye if you approve.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Anybody opposed? No. All right.
Awesome. And we have no citizen comment received at this time.
All right. And Shanda's back up to bat with Center for the Arts update.
All right. So it's an interesting time to be an indoor entertainment venue, as you know. Give you some highlights. Right now we have a new art gallery that is hanging. We have Oregon, My Oregon, which is still up for another month or so. And it's work by Darla Boljat, who's a local acrylics artist. And we held a successful artist opening gallery last month, which was nice. We're able to do that with, all our doors open and with nice weather and having a limited number of people in the space at a time masked. So that was nice. It felt like a bit of normalcy. And there was an acoustic guitarist playing, so nothing that is expelling aerosols, but we had beautiful music playing at the time. We are right now planning heavily for summer. We're doing Summer Art Smart Camp again. And I know I've mentioned before how happy we are that we did some of this last summer. So we already feel like we're ahead of the game with COVID protocols in some ways. So we're just modifying what we did last year to make sure we're still within guidelines for this year and being as safe as possible, mitigating risk as much as possible, while also realizing the very real need of parents to have their kids in something structured and enriching. So I feel really good about our upcoming summer. Again, this space affords us many possibilities to open doors and cross-ventilate and have, outdoor spaces. So we're looking forward to maximizing all of that. So if you have any kids that you know of who might want to look at that, or if you feel so led to share the summer information with people, that would be a great way to get that information out. We're partnering with some cool partners this year. Again, Engineering for Kids, who we brought on board last year, Mad Science, Metropolitan Performing Arts, who are bringing back their Hogwarts theater camp, which is always super popular. And then we're partnering anew with Northwest Children's Theater to bring a play lab to Sherwood kids this year. So feel good about those strong partnerships, feel great about our teaching staff, and it's just going to be another, an interesting summer as we try to keep people safe, well, and encouraged. We are doing some in-person spring classes right now, so a very limited number, and those are going well. Again, trying to recognize the need for some thoughtful in-person instruction for the younger members of our community, and small class sizes, and following all the protocols, but those have been very popular. We're waiting to see, it looks like Washington County is going to go into the high risk category again, so that will affect a lot of things in April, May, and June. But again, this year is all about flexing and pivoting and holding things very loosely once you make the plans, and staying on top of all of the guidance. So it's been fun. It's been good. It's been good for our neuroplasticity. Trying to think if there's anything else center-wise. We've been continuing to have the church here on Sunday mornings as a rental. They follow the faith-based guidance. And we did have our first, we had an event here on Saturday, 2 days ago, but again, following all of the strict COVID protocols, and we'll see if that kind of event is still able to happen later this month. April 30th, we're having a Red Cross blood drive here. So if anyone wants to spread the word on that, or donate yourself, that's on Thursday, April 30th. And that's been a good partnership. It continues to be. And that is my Center for the Arts update. Any questions about what's going on within these walls?
Just throwing it out there regarding the blood drive. You usually have to make an appointment in order to do that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They do have, every time they do have some people walk in, though. There's always someone who doesn't show up, so walk-ins are still accepted.
Just curious, are they testing before taking blood, or anybody can walk in?
We tend to stay in our office when they're out there, but I know that the Red Cross has some pretty strict protocols. I know I've seen them taking temperatures and all kinds of things. But I'm sure I don't feel qualified to answer that, but they've been,
okay.
It's the Red Cross, and they've been pretty on top of things. I do know people have walked in, though. I'm sure being screened and going through all the pre-screening procedures. So that's a good question, Winnie.
Are they still doing the antibody test things? As a kind of a reward for giving blood?
They do that still. Yeah, I donated, I think in March, I think it was, and yeah, they give you the results of the COVID antibodies.
That's great.
Yep.
I don't have any questions, but I do have a comment. The summer lineup for the classes are awesome. I signed up my son for the video game, building the video game. So he's very excited about that one.
Oh, Winnie, I'm so glad. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm really excited about our teachers. We have a brand new art teacher coming on board as well. And I think it's going to be a positive summer. And I do want to say our on-call staff has been amazing. Our staff here has been amazing. I think it's feeling optimistic about the ability to make things work. Thank you. Any other questions?
Question I have actually.
Yeah.
Is it filled up? Because when I saw the announcement on Instagram that, hey, we are opening up, I was worried that it's going to fill up so quickly. So how is it looking? Is it filled up already? Or how do you want our help, in a sense that should we communicate to our neighbors, or?
Yeah. Well, so it's not full yet, but there are certain classes that are filling up quickly. And, usually we try to have in the past, we've tried to have our summer camp offerings out very early, like late January, early February, especially for working parents, because that's when all my parent friends tend to plan, is like early February. This year is a little different, and I think we've actually benefited from going a little later, because I think a lot of parents have held back, myself included. Like people have been holding back to sign up. So I think it's good that we just opened them on April 2nd. And so that's 17 days. It's going at a brisk pace, I would say.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, we feel good. It's strong. And I think, everyone is trying to figure it out. So I think parents are eager to sign up, but I know that, a lot depends on where the county goes in the next month or two.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions about the center or programs?
I do have a question for the summer camp. Like the year I volunteered, we have a lot of volunteers, but I'm not sure this year we will have any.
Yeah, so we are going to be able to use volunteers again this year. Last year we just did it all with our salaried staff. That was the decision that we made. This year we are putting out a call for volunteers again. So Casey, we would love to have you. We would love to have anyone who is interested. The first year of Art Smart was 2 summers ago. Yeah, and that's where we met Casey, and we were really lucky to have an amazing group of volunteers, from senior citizens down to just really enthusiastic high school students who were looking to volunteer. So it looks like we'll have a strong group again this year, and our goal is to have at least 1 volunteer with each cohort group who will stay with that cohort throughout the week. It's a good question. Any other questions on that? All right.
So were you going to do the Friends update as well, Shanda?
So Sky just wanted to let people know that there's no official update for Friends. I know that we're having a Friends meeting next week, and there will be something to report next time. But the Friends, I guess the biggest thing is that the Friends meeting has been moved from Monday nights. They're trying to find another night on which to meet.
Gotcha. And anybody have any questions on that? No? So you're up again there, Shanda.
I'm going to keep talking. I'm just going to keep talking. All right, so wanted to give a quick community art update. So the Art Beneath Our Feet program, the Rainworks pavement art, it is out in the community. We had some excitement the other day. Wanted to let you know, Casey made these amazing, huge stencils of what is it, Casey? It was a rock, paper, scissors, and we put them, it's actually quite large stencil, and it's out in front of the Art Center. And since kids need to be picked up and dropped off outside the building, some kids were out there waiting for their parent, and they were very excited. They had a spray bottle with them, and they started spraying and noticed it, and excitement ensued. So they are out and about in the community. We didn't get a lot of participation to put more stencils out. I understand I think a lot of people are just at saturation point right now, and it's hard to find the time to tromp around city parks and put them up, and it does take a while. Casey and Kelsey and Leah and I can attest, it takes some time to put out each stencil. but I did want to invite you. We do have a bin full of the stencils and all the materials and the directions. With Oregon and our liquid sunshine, there's no reason why we can't continue this Art Beneath Our Feet project throughout the spring and summer. So I would like to invite any of you, if you want to come, grab a stencil, grab some instructions, let us know you're coming. We're open 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. right now, so limited hours, but they're open and they're very doable. It's fun. It's a very doable activity, and you just need a sunny day. So we need 48 hours of sunshine for maximum benefit. But it's been fun to see people get excited about it. There's a large hopscotch in front of the library that is visible during the rain, and they will fade away in a couple of months, so we could make it an ongoing thing. And the last thing I wanted to say about the pavement art, the city of Tualatin also invested in a bunch of Rainworks stencils, and we are free to borrow between cities. So they got the stencils that we didn't purchase, and we purchased some that they didn't purchase. So our plan is to keep those in our city pavement art libraries and to just put them out in the spring and hopefully continue this. And Casey made some amazing, hand cut ones. They're not hard. I mean, I made a simple heart. It's not the best heart, but made it out of corrugated cardboard. I anticipate a lot of fun to be had from those going forward.
I have a question not a question, comment, but I'm excited to know that there's still some supplies left that I can come in, because I was worried that I wasn't able to make it. Now that I can bring my husband and my kids together and we can do an art project together. Mm-hmm. And maybe take the supplies and maybe do it on a weekend when it's sunny for 48 hours. So we'll do that. I'll stop by and pick it up. And you're only open Monday to Friday, right?
Yeah, right now. We're usually here. I mean, staff is in the building longer, many days. So just let us know and we'll walk you through how to do it. And our focus is we are trying to hit parks and public spaces. So I can also show you a list of which parks currently don't have anything in them, or some ideas that have some easy public spaces to hit. So
perfect. Will do. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions or?
All right. So we're up to Sean and the council update.
All right, everybody. So we've got a council meeting tomorrow night. Fairly normal agenda. A few items regarding some ordinances and adopting some stuff on Brookman Road right away, concept plan. One of the things that might be notable to some of the folks, if you're interested, after our council regular session, which will probably be a fairly quick one, we're having a work session afterwards as well about the outdoor dining program, the alfresco, the closure of the Railroad Street, or half of Railroad Street, just to kind of talk to what our future plans are going to be for that. We've currently extended the closure through May. We just did that recently in anticipation of what Shanda had mentioned, unfortunately, the projection that will likely go back up to high risk, and so impacting some of the dining establishments down there. So, but we want to provide Joe and Kristen a little bit of input on, what the council thinks for future plans. We've had some of the folks down there ask, is this going to continue to be a month by month thing, or are we going to have a bigger plan, because they have to plan for their staffing and everything, and not knowing if it's going to be extended every month is challenging for them. You may have noticed that I mentioned Joe and Kristen. If you hadn't heard by now, Joe Gall, our city manager, has accepted a position with Clean Water Services, and so he'll be leaving in May. Kristen will be our interim assistant city manager until Joe leaves, and then pending the outcome of our recruitment to fill his position, she would be the interim city manager until we find a replacement. We have started that work. We're working with a third-party firm to assist in the recruitment of that. There are companies that specialize in this type of thing, and so we did a quick little RFP and gathered, I want to say it was 4 or 5 different potential companies. The council discussed it on several nights. A couple of the councilors did some reference checks and spoke with them. Some of those references, because many of these companies have a footprint in this area, have done similar work for some of our neighboring cities as far as recruiting for city managers and other city staff positions. So we did select one. We're going to start that work with them. And I believe the timeline for this company said, I think July, I think, is potentially when the process might end. So Joe will be leaving in May. So Kristen will be our acting interim city manager for a little while. So looking forward to that. Good opportunity for her, and excited for her, and happy for Joe to find a position that is going to reinvigorate him, I think, a little bit, and be happy working with Clean Water Services. And also it's a win for our city as well, in having somebody familiar with Sherwood at Clean Water Services, and somebody that we can contact behind the scenes and advocate for Sherwood when it comes to water issues as well. So it's good to know people. So coming up, let's see, we've got a pretty light future agenda, but a lot of stuff with Sherwood Broadband, looking to get out there a little bit more. So we were going to potentially help equip them with some service equipment. I guess actually the other big notable item is in May, as we do every year, is our annual budget committee meetings. So those start on May 20th, and those are scheduled for 3 weeks. Last week, I think we only went 2 weeks just because of the good work that everyone did in preparing everything and a fairly simple budget. I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like this year, see if there's any COVID impacts on our budget and how we'll address those. I think that's it. For real news and stuff to report. We're still holding all our meetings online as well, but perhaps if things get better, we'll get back into City Hall sometime this summer. Maybe I'm not sure, but that would be nice. So, any questions from anybody?
Sean, I think you mentioned something in February that you guys have a strategy meeting in March where you had an outside consultant come in. How did that go?
Yeah, we have our goal settings meetings every year, and actually we're going to be kind of ratifying those coming up in May. It went well, and I think this was a little bit easier session than most, or at least the ones that I've participated in the past, because I think this is probably the first time in any of them where we've had all of the same council members come back year over year, and really, so what we got an update on last year's goals and progress that's been made on those, and we didn't really make a lot of adjustments to those goals. We got an update on some of the short-term goals that we had set last year, and many of those have been completed. Medium and long-term goals, they're still making some progress on those, and we really just kind of told everybody to stay the course and keep working on what they're doing. And a lot of the things that I'm really happy about that they've done, and you've seen around town, is a lot of the goals that we had set last year regarding kind of some of our pedestrian safety issues and traffic safety. We've started up within the last year the traffic safety committee, and there's been some construction that's gone on around town, which I've been very pleased with. I live over in the Snyder Park area. My middle daughter attends Archer Glen and walks home from school, and so if you're familiar with the intersection at Sunset and Pine, there was a lot of construction on that over the last couple of years to finally extend the sidewalk all the way way through Snyder, past Pine, and I was very happy to see that. There's a crosswalk now at Sunset and Pine. So, those are some of the things that we had set as goals last year, and very happy to move forward with those and those done. But yeah, really, it was a pretty quick meeting, and not a lot of new items, new goals really added to the list.
Do you share those goals, or they stay private with you guys?
No, we have those. I'm not sure if those are available on the website or not. That's a great question. I would hope they are, at least at a high level, available. And then probably in our agenda packet, let me see when we're actually doing that. It looks like this is May 4th, actually. We will, as part of our new business in our regular session of the council, we will be passing a resolution to approve those goals. So I will check to see if those will be in the packet for that meeting, to have those available for people to see.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments?
Sean, those goals are available on the city website under City Council. I think it's just on the quick things on the left-hand side of the city website.
Fantastic. There you go. Thanks, Kelsey.
And to piggyback onto Councillor Garland, we do reference a lot of those City Council goals in our goal making as well for city departments. So that's.
Yeah, coincidentally, the company that we worked with over the last 2 years, they're named SGR. They're also the company that we're working with to do the recruitment for the city manager position. They've been a big boon to, I think, the goal setting sessions. They're professional facilitators in that. And I believe I said it last year. If I didn't, I should have. I think one of the big things that we've done over the last couple of years with the goal setting meetings, which have really enhanced those and made them so much more meaningful and valuable, is by including all of the managers in those goal setting meetings to be active participants in those. This one wasn't quite as much. You guys were there and you gave a lot of updates on progress that's made. But like I said, we didn't really set a lot of new goals. But in the last year, we really, it was a large team. It wasn't just the council at a table and having the city staff in the room just kind of spectating. They were active participants in that, and I think that's important, because anything that we look to do, we have to understand if it's reasonable and how it fits with their their resourcing, with the staff they have available and the capacity and the work that they're doing. So having them actually in the room and participating and making those goals, it just makes them more realistic and more meaningful, I think. So big thanks to the city staff for their participation and everything, and obviously for all the accomplishments that they did over the last year. This last year was ridiculous. I mean, it's and that was going to be kind of the interesting thing to see, the goals we set last year. I mean, how many of those, I went into that meeting thinking, how many of these did we actually accomplish in this crazy year? And I was surprised at how many things got done. How many, specifically a lot of our public works and construction projects, but the senior center was just knocking it out of the park this last year. They were heroes in our city last year with all the work that they did with still meal deliveries and just outreach to our seniors during this whole time, making sure that people were okay and being those voices, and those friends for our seniors. Just amazing to hear the work that our city staff did. And I think what will probably always be the craziest year that they'll have in expectations being set for how to do your job, and Shanda with everything at the senior center, or I'm sorry, the art center, and it's frustrating to have such a fantastic building and have it be vacant for so much of the year. But there's still so much work that was done with the arts community and everything that you guys did as far as ideas to keep the arts vibrant in our community as well. So hoping for a better year next year when we can have people involved, have our citizens coming in person and getting back in that building, maybe getting another SFA production going this year, and I think they're tentatively thinking winter, perhaps, maybe. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in human form as well. In 3D.
It was a little weird having that goal setting session in person. It was the first time I had attended anything in person since March of last year, really. So it was, yeah, a little strange to actually talk to people in the same room, other than my wife and kids.
How do we human? How do we?
Yeah, it was a little strange. I had to put on a nice shirt. I think I wore a t-shirt, but it was clean. So, that was setting the bar pretty low.
Not wearing PJ pants, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Was anything said about the arts at all in those goal setting or in that goal setting meeting?
Oh, I would have to go back to my notes, but I know that, yeah, I certainly appreciate everything that you guys have done over the last year, and looking forward to seeing what you've got to present in the budget coming up this year too. I'm hoping to see some things. As I recall, I think we talked a little bit about some of the mural stuff, but yeah, I don't remember. Maybe if Kelsey or somebody else has a better brain than I do, but.
I didn't see any of your guys' material, but I will look at it.
Anybody else have a comment or question for Sean? No? All right. Shanda, did you want to talk about the cultural advocacy day or term limits first?
Yeah. So I if you'll notice on the agenda, I put it as an upcoming date of note. This Friday, April 23rd, is apparently it's John Lyle's birthday. It's also Leah's birthday, so it's already doubly special. But it's also the Cultural Advocacy Coalition's Cultural Advocacy Day 2021, and they tend to do this every year. In the past, it's been a big, day-long conference, sometimes held in different parts of the state. They try to rotate it, so it's not always in the metro area. But this year, of course, it's online. And I just wanted to put it on your radar in case anyone wants to join me virtually there. It's on Friday from 9 to 11. And I can send out the link. I think it's an Eventbrite type thing. But our state rep, Christine Drazon, will be speaking, and Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici, who we all know is a great advocate for STEAM, and her daughter used to be a student at Northwest Children's Theater, like a huge advocate for all of the good that the arts can do. And it sounds like it's part celebration and part celebrating what happened through CARES dollars and other major accomplishments, and part how to talk to your local friendly neighborhood policymaker on things related to arts and policy. So I'm happy to send that link out to folks, and I encourage us to attend if you can. There's even going to be a cello performance, and it's just another way to get our brains ready for some of the policy level work that goes along with the arts. So any questions about that? And it's a statewide, this is our statewide Cultural Advocacy Day, but I believe it's being celebrated or pushed nationwide through Americans for the Arts as well.
Yeah, I was going to try and see if I can push to get that day off. So maybe that'd be a nice way to start my day.
Nice.
So I might contact you on that one.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's 9 to 11 a.m. our time, which is nice. Sometimes these are Eastern time. I don't do well with that conversion sometimes. And then the other thing on our other category, I guess, is just be aware that term limits are coming up for 2 of our cultural arts commissioners. It's been such a weird year. As you all know, we've been meeting online, haven't even hung out in the same room yet with some of you. So it is kind of an odd to be talking to folks about, because this year has been one of, I've met some interesting people this year through various interactions that do come to mind as people that I should probably invite to apply for the Cultural Arts Commission. And as you know, we could all use some new folks. We'd love to have a student rep as well. Again, it's a weird year to be a high school student, as you know, but if someone comes to mind that this would be a good fit for, just make sure they know about the process. So I think Jeff's limit is up the end of June, and Sky is up at the end of June. So big shoes to fill. Start looking.
Gotcha. Did we lose Winnie?
She's there.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Oh, in the chat it says Winnie's left the chat.
Everyone kind of blinked out on my end.
Technology, the internet, something happened.
Gotcha.
So Shanda, I had a question on that. Is it term limits as in they're termed out and they can't continue, or just the end of their term is in June?
That is a good question. I know that the term limit or the terms have been codified in the last few years to line up more in a linear way, and everyone has a position number. So it's more the position number is coming to an end.
You staggered them, right? So
yeah. So they've been staggered all through the city, so that.
I was just confused by the phrase term limits. I didn't think that there was a maximum amount of time that a person could serve, and that we were saying goodbye to John and Sky because they served too long or anything like that.
To my knowledge, that is not a term.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. I should say the position term is up. Any other thoughts on that? The information too can be found on the city website where you all found us. So
I will just say, I believe that there's positions becoming available on all city boards and commissions at the end of June. So if you know anybody that wants to get involved with the city, there's something available for everybody.
Yeah. And I know too, thank you for that, Kelsey. I know too that there are people who, like, this year has been a year that has reoriented them towards local service and local community. So if those folks come to mind who are more eager than ever to invest in their own backyard, this would be a great place to plug them in. And I know we've worked really hard on public art and putting things together, and you all have worked on it, some of you much longer than I've been here in Sherwood. I want to give us hope and optimism that things are moving forward and will move forward. This year has been a little nuts, but I do see movement forward on those fronts.
So when do you need to know about whether or not someone is renewing? Do you guys just ask them independently? So we're not putting anybody on the spot, basically.
Yeah, we would just talk off the, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I was going to ask you too, I completely forgot the time frame for the blood drive on the 30th.
I believe it's daytime. I think this one is they're in the morning and out in the afternoon. So it's, oh gosh, Kelsey, you might need to correct me on this.
I think it starts
It's
around
9.
10-ish. I think they
Yeah.
get it to the center at 9, and then it starts at 10, and then I think they're usually gone by 3, which means they probably end around
Yep. Yeah.
1:30 or 2
Gotcha.
ish.
And they're actually setting up inside the building? It's not the mobile
Yeah.
van thing? Okay,
This one is inside our building.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Shonda, is there going to be a retreat planned this summer?
Yeah. So that's on our it's on the plan. Yeah, to have some kind of a cultural arts retreat. I know it'd be really helpful to help onboard Winnie and Rachel and reorient all of us. It's been a minute since we've done that. I think we've just been waiting to see what the parameters are, but I would love to talk more about that in May, once we know, frankly, what budget looks like for next year, and have everyone in one Teams call. But yes, we do want to have some kind of a retreat this year. It'll probably need to be outside.
What's the purpose, and what have you done in the past? Just curious.
Does someone want to? I've been talking a lot, you guys.
So we've generally done them in June before, and we really just kind of like similar to council. You look at what our goals were for the past year and see where we are and see where we want to go in the future. So we kind of just use it as a map for where we go for that year coming.
We did hash out quite a bit about the public art plan via those retreats, which was kind of nice. And we kind of worked on, again, on the SWOT and kind of working on what our goals are going to be for the coming year.
And figuring out our mission statement and things like that.
Yes.
I thought there might be a spa treatment in there too. It's a retreat.
Well, generally
I'm
at
kidding.
Jeff's garden, and if we twist his arm.
No, I've already said that's fine if you want to do that here.
This year it sounds like it might be BYOR, bring your own rake. Yeah.
Well, as I told Shonda, I'm getting close to back to normal.
That's really exciting, actually. Yeah.
I can just imagine, Jeff.
Jeff, we would love to have it at your beautiful outdoor space, if possible. And we do have notes from the last one, which was 2019, I guess, June 2019. And it was a pretty solid reaffirmation of our focus on public art. So that feels like the clear takeaway from that last retreat. And I think we could all use a reorientation. I don't believe that's a real word, but a refocus and with some really tangible things to go forward, because I know that's where our heart lies and what our interest is for a lot of folks in this group. So maybe Jeff will start, I'll toss some dates your way and we'll talk about that in earnest in May on our agenda.
All right. Does anyone else have any other business to discuss? No? All right. I guess we can call this meeting to order, or to adjournment at 7:19 p.m.
Nice.
Thanks,
That's an
Lena.
early one.
Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah, nice to see your
Take care,
faces.
guys.
All right.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
soon. Bye. Thanks, John, for presiding.
No problem.
All right.
See you next time.